on the top of the table over in League One, and it's not bloody Wigan Athletic. Who is it? I'll tell you all about it next. Folks, back once again with another prediction video today. We look forward to match day number 28 over in League One, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new, where you been, smash your subscribe button to keep back update all things League One related. Papa Rose like world football related. We're all here, boys, under one roof. That's right. Believe it or not, Wycombe Wanderers are your leaders over in League One, putting Paul Rotherham down in the bloody playoffs. But what's going to happen this coming week in an extended match day? We'll take a look at all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to VRPs, boys. They are the Patreons, and please, if you're not involved in the Patreon, make sure you check out the link down below. Patreon.com/Shrewsbury. But better still, make sure you give the big old fat thumbs up. Smash your subscribe if you're new. Of course, this is your one-stop shop for football, boys, and also your one-stop shop for interactive football content. That's right, we've got it all here, boys. Get in amongst it, get involved. Let's play some games. Yes, let's get into it then, shall we? Kick it off. We're League One. Here we go. This is all. Look at that. Look at that shitload of games right there. Of course, these were the games last time around. I've got a whole bunch of you next time around. So here they go. Of course, Accrington Stanley again. They are a bogey side sometimes against the bigger boys, picking up a 1-1 draw against Sunderland. Bolton got themselves back to winning ways with a 2-0 win over Ipswich. Cheltenham Town did draw with Charlton. Called it, lads, called it. Meanwhile, Crewe also drew with Shrewsbury. Called it, lads, called it as well. Doncaster Rovers did get battered by Wigan. Not really battered, but 2-1 win for Wigan. Gillingham, new manager at the helm there, of course. Burton now picked up a 3-1 win. Fleetwood picked up a monster win over Rotherham, dented their hopes. Lincoln also struggling with Cambridge. Message received, Cambridge fan. Message received. Meanwhile, Pompey did lose to MK Dons. A bit of a surprise there. Sheffield Wednesday picked up a 4-2 win over Plymouth. Wimbledon picked up a 0-0 draw against Morecambe. Of course, Wycombe picked up a 2-0 win over Oxford. Morecambe bounced back with a loss, unfortunately, against Wigan Athletic, of course, kicking ass and taking names. Wimbledon did draw with Pompey as well. Rotherham, another game that has to, we'll do that again another day. And Cambridge picked up a 3-1 win over Doncaster. Those were your games. Then, of course, my picks. I did all right. Not brilliant, but don't really want to highlight it because I think I did shit. So Wigan Wanderers are your leaders. They have played 4 games more than Wigan. However, they played the same amount of games as Sunderland as well. As Rotherham, of course, got 2 games in hand. Of course, win both of those, they could be top. But, of course, they'll be probably second behind Wigan at the moment. It is so unbelievably confusing. Just like last year, I have no idea who's going up. I have no idea who's making the playoffs either. And I've got a clear indication of probably who's going to go down. Or 2 of them anyway. But it's anyone's guess at the moment because of the games in hand situation. It's just so confusing. It makes for quite an exciting back end to this campaign. Plymouth got a shout, MK Dons have a shout, Sheffield Wednesday, Pompey, Accrington Stanley also always got a shout, Ipswich Town. It's just so wide open, boys. So is the prediction league. Let's take a look at it then, shall we? Here is your leader. Take about Shepherd, in fact, and Old Trouble both kicked ass and took some names there. Hey, Luna, ain't that right, girl? Ain't that bloody right? Yes, indeed. They kicked ass in this week and this week alone. What about the overall grand scheme of things? Get over there, Luke. So we're right over there. Deep out the great. Better 77 kicked ass. Shepherd as well. You can do it, sweetheart. Go on, Luna. Get the bloody ball. Go on then. Don't look at me undies, pants. Whoop. All right. Let's get, of course, so Deep Out the Great first episode. Kicks ass and Shepherd are your leaders at the moment for this part of the season. Of course, if the patrons, respect to them, of course, do get access to the full data, they can know who is the actual overall leader, and that's the Vuvuzelas kicking into song here. And Luna is speaking to me in ball code. Probably needs to go out, but we'll get there in a minute. Vuvuzela action. That's it, sweetheart. Give it some. Okay, so if you want to get involved, cut your League One. I'm not going to throw it right now, Luna. Let's get into it. Here we go. Next round matches again, another extended match day. A whole host of games for you to take a look at. So we're going to kick it all off with Sunderland up against Pompey, of course. Big game. This one, of course. 2 juggernauts that are languishing in the 3rd tier of English football. Of course, they want to bounce back at least to the 2nd tier. Now, these 2 sides have played 29 times since 1993. 9 wins for Sunderland, 12 wins for Portsmouth, and 8 draws. Just 1 defeat though at the past 5 games for Sunderland. 50% form up against the Pompey side, who went on an incredible run not too long ago. Incredible run up the table, and now 3 games without a win. In fact, just 1 win in 5 for them. 50% form as well. Of course, last time at the Stadium Light was a 3-1 win for Portsmouth. That was back in October 2020. They also played this season in October at Fratton Park. It was a 4-0 win for Portsmouth as well. Sunderland picked up a draw against Accrington last time around. Wimbledon drawn with Portsmouth as well. The odds on this one go in favour, of course. Sunderland 65 on for the 16-5 is your away win. That's Portsmouth 11-4 is your draw. Going to go with Sunderland here, 2-1 win to bounce back and get the first win in a bunch. Burton have been taking on Wimbledon, of course, down at the Pirelli. Is that what they call it? Of course, played the 16 times 2011, 6 wins to Burton, 4 wins to Wimbledon, and 6 draws, of course. Unbeaten them in the last 3 games. The Burton 42% form up against the Wimbledon side, who haven't won in the last 6 games, 25% form as well. Coming at you though, last time at the Pirelli was a 1-1 draw back in October 2020. Meanwhile, Burton drew with Wimbledon also in Wimbledon back in October this season. Look at the odds on this one, and then shall we? Of course, 65 is your Burton. The early favourites, 11-5 is your away win. That's Wimbledon, and 12-5 is your draw. Going to go with Burton here to get a point on this one. Wimbledon also happy with that on the road. Cambridge up against Crewe. Let's get into this one then, shall we? Of course, Cambridge coming at you. Played each other 8 times 2016. 5 was Cambridge, 4-1 with the Crewe. 2 draws, of course. Cambridge unbeaten the last 5 now. 4 wins to the Mount, 75% form. Up against the Crewe side, who've just won once in the past 5, or 4 for them. 42% form as well. Last round over in Cambridge, it was a 0-0 draw back in March 2019. They also played each other this season in Crewe. It was a 2-2 draw back in October. The Cambridge coming to on the back of a 3-1 win over Doncaster. Crewe pick up a 0-0 draw over Shrewsbury. 11-10 on is your Cambridge red hot favourites. 13-5 is your draw. 40-5 is your Crewe. I've read between the lines, Cambridge fan. I'm going to go with Cambridge here to take the win. 2-1 win. Are you happy now? Are you bloody happy? Charlton coming at you, of course, up against Fleetwood Town at the Valley. Of course, played each other according to my eyes 9 times 2016. 3 for Charlton, 1 for Fleetwood, and 5 draws. Just 1 minute 6 there for Charlton at the moment. Of course, Johnny Jackson been hired now. He went on an incredible run. Now it's not looking so great, is it? Fleetwood's just like the Solskjaer effect, really. Fleetwood Town, of course, coming at you, just 1 defeat past 6 games for them, 75% form for Fleetwood. Last round at the Valley was a 3-2 win for Charlton back in November 2020. They also played each other at Fleetwood. It was a 2-1 win back in October this season. Charlton, though, drawing with Cheltenham. Fleetwood picking up a 1-1 win over Rotherham last round. Look at the odds on this one then, shall we? Charlton 65 on for the victory, 11-4 is your draw. 60-5 is your away win. That's Fleetwood Town. I'm going to go with a 2-1 for Charlton, but Jackson's boys bouncing back on this one. Morecambe, they're going to be taking on high flying Wycombe Wanderers, of course, tabletoppers right here, right now. Played each other according to my eyes 19 times 2007, 10 wins for Wycombe, 4 for Morecambe, and 5 draws. Just 1 minute 6 though for Morecambe at the moment. Wycombe though coming into this just 1 defeat at about 6-7% form as well. Last time around over in Morecambe, 2-1 win for Morecambe back in November 2017. Meanwhile, of course, they also played each other at Adams Park. It was a 4-3 win for Wycombe back in October. Wycombe picking up a 2-0 win over Oxford. In fact, back-to-back clean sheets as well. Meanwhile, Wigan did beat Wycombe last time around, 2-1 win for Wigan. Of course, the odds here 3-1 is your Morecambe's, 20-79 is your Wycombe, 13-5 is your draw. It's a tight, awkward little game, this one. It could end up being a draw, but I'm going to back the tabletoppers Wycombe because they've got the momentum with them at the moment. Ipswich Town up against Accrington Stanley, of course, down at Portman Road. Played 6 times 2019, 3 wins apiece, no draws. Ipswich just 1 defeat the past 4 games for them, 50% form up against the Accrington Stanley side. Unbeaten the last 5, 58% form as well. Last round over in Portman Road, 2-0 win for Ipswich back in October 2020. They also played this season in Accrington. It was 2-1 win for Accrington. That was back in October this season, 2021. But Ipswich picked up a loss against Bolton. Accrington picking up a draw against Sunderland last round. Look at the odds on this one. The Vuvuzelas are going on this one, and we're going to go with what are we going to go with? We're going to go 4-3 on is your Ipswich, and we got 10-3 is your away win. Accrington, of course, 11-4 is your bloody draw here. Down at Portman Road, 2-1 win for Ipswich for me. No brainer on this one. MK Dons, they're going to be taking on and Doncaster Rovers at the stadium in MK. Now, these two sides are going to be locking horns for the 16th time. The previous 15, 3 for Milton Keynes, 7, of course, Doncaster, and 5 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Milton Keynes. Of course, Doncaster, though, 5 defeats on the spin, 17% form at the moment. Of course, last round over at MK was a 1-0 win for Milton Keynes back in March. They also played this is at the Keepmoat, was a 2-1 win for Doncaster back in October. Milton Keynes on the back of a 2-1 win over Pompey. Of course, Doncaster did lose to Cambridge last time around. Look at the odds on this one. 5-2 on is your Milton Keynes, 7-2 is your draw, 30-2 is your Doncaster Rovers. Going to go with a win for MK on this one. 2 to win. Doncaster Rovers are in trouble. Oxford United need to bounce back and bounce back fast. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday also trying to get some points on the board as well. Played the 2 times 2015, 1 win apiece. Of course, Oxford, though, just 1 win in 5 for them, 42% form up against a Wednesday side who have just 2 wins in the past 6 games, 42% form as well. Last round, it was they played each other twice. It was a win for Wednesday back in 2015 in a cup, but they also played each other this season at Hillsborough, to 2-1 win for Oxford back in October. So the first time they played each other at Oxford and the Kazan. Oxford coming to on the back of a 2-0 loss against Wycombe. Of course, back-to-back games not scoring a goal though for Oxford. Meanwhile, Sheffield Wednesday picking up a 4-2 win over Plymouth. So the tails will be up for that one as well. Look at the odds on this one. We have 23-20. Oxford 9-4 is your win. Sheffield Wednesday and 12-5 is your draw. Going to go with the win for Oxford, but only just 3-2 win. Goals galore. That's the game to watch. And hopefully we'll have coverage on that one. We're going to go mega stream this weekend. Mega stream. Hopefully have fans from at least to cover all these games. It will be an absolute hoot. On this one. So next up, of course, we have Plymouth Argyle up against Lincoln City. Played the 6 times 2013, 3 for Plymouth, 1 for Lincoln, 2 draws. Plymouth just 1 defeat the past 4 for them, 58% form up against the Lincoln side. 2 defeats, 2 wins the past 4 games, 42% form as well. Last round at Plymouth was a 4-3 win for Plymouth back in February 2021. They also played this season in Lincoln. It was a 2-2 draw back in October. Plymouth did lose to Sheffield Wednesday. We just talked about that. Lincoln also picked up a loss against Cambridge last round. Look at the odds on this one. 65 ownership, Plymouth 11. 13-5 is your draw. 16-5 is your Lincoln City on this one. 2-1 win for Plymouth to take to the house. Rotherham need a bounce back and bounce back fast up against Cheltenham Town though this coming weekend. Played 11 times 2006, 4 wins apiece and 3 draws. Of course, Rotherham losing back to back at the moment, 50% form as well. Cheltenham though haven't won in the last 9 games, 33% form as well right now. Of course, last time at the New York Stadium was a 4-2 win for Rotherham back in November 2012. Meanwhile, they also played this season in Cheltenham was a 2-2 win for Rotherham back in October. Cheltenham picking up a 1-1 draw against Charlton. Of course, Rotherham did lose to Fleetwood last time round. Coming at you though, 11-4 on is your Rotherham, 7-2 is your draw, 8-1 is your long shots. That's Cheltenham. Rotherham are going to win this one though, 2-0 win with a clean sheet, boys. To wrap it up, Shrewsbury Town up against Bolton Wanderers down at the Game Meadow, something like that. Played the 7 times 2013, 4 for Bolton, 1 for Shrewsbury, and 2 draws. Just 1 defeat the past 6 games for Shrewsbury, 67% form. Up against the Bolton side, just 1 in 6, 17% form as well. Last round over in Shrewsbury was in the EFL Trophy Northern. That was back in October 2020. However, last time played in the league in Shrewsbury was a 2-win for Bolton back in March 2017. They also played this season in Bolton, was a 2-win for Bolton back in October. Shrewsbury did draw with Crewe last time around. Bolton picking up a 2-0 win over Ipswich last time around. Shrewsbury 5-4 for the victory, 20-10 is your Bolton, and of course 12-5 is your draw. Shrewsbury are going to get something out of this one. It'll be a point though, 0-0 in the end. Wigan Athletic hoping to bounce back up against Gillingham, of course. New manager, have they confirmed a new manager? I don't know. I'm looking at it. Steve Lavelle is your manager, of course. Who did he used to play for? Did he used to play for Reading, Crystal Palace or something like that? Anyway, of course, played 11 times these two sides since 2003. 6 wins for Wigan, 4 for Gillingham, 1 draw. Wigan winning 5 of the bouts, of course, 92% form up against the Gillingham side who haven't won in the last, I don't even know, 6 games at least. 8% form as well coming at you though. Last round over the DW was a 3-2 win for Gillingham. That's something to fire with. 3-2 win for Gillingham last round at the DW. However, they also played this season at the Priestfields. It was a 2-2 win for Wigan back in October this season. Wigan though coming on the back of a 2-1 win over Morecambe. Gillingham did lose to Burton last round. Look at the odds on this one then. We have Wigan 10-3 on for the victory, 4-1 is your draw, 11-1 is your long shots. That's Gillingham on this one. Going with a 2-0 win for Wigan on this one to take it to the house. Burton Albion, of course, a double match week taking on MK Dons next midweek, as around about this time next week. Of course, locking horns for the 7th time, previous 6. 2 wins for Burton, 3 for Milton Keynes, and a draw to boot. Of course, Burton coming into 42% form up against the Milton Keynes side, 67% form as well. Last round over in Burton was a 2-1 win for MK Dons. Coming at you. That was, of course, so they're playing Wimbledon one day, then Milton Keynes the next. How mad is that? Of course, 2-1 win it was for Milton Keynes. They've also played this season in MK. Stadium MK was a 1-0 win for Milton Keynes back in November. Of course, we already talked about Burton coming into the back of a win against Gillingham. Milton Keynes did beat Portsmouth. Got no odds on this one. My odds are in my pants. Got none of those. 2-1 win. Back-to-back wins for MK Dons this week, or this extended week. And, of course, not the greatest week for Burton. Kicking off forward, we have Wimbledon. They're going to be taking on Ipswich Town. That's right, at Plough Lane. Of course, let's get into this one then, shall we? Because now these two sides have played each other quarter miles 5 times 2019, 1 with a piece and 3 draws. Wimbledon know without winning at least 6 games. Ipswich just 1 defeat the past 4 for them, 50% form as well. Of course, last round over in Wimbledon was a 3-0 win for Wimbledon back in April 2021. They also played this season in Portman Road back in August. It was a 2-2 draw as well. Wimbledon unbeaten in the last 4 against Ipswich, picking up 3 draws and a win to boot. Of course, Wimbledon picking up a 0-0 draw against Pompey last round, and Ipswich did lose to Bolton last round. No odds on this one, but I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Ipswich on the road, as Wimbledon's form is wavering bad. Fleetwood Town up against Plymouth Argyle, of course, another midweek game. and another one I've got to find in this bloody mess that we find here. Of course, coming at you, these two sides have played each other, according to my eyes, around about 11 times, 2012. 5 wins for Fleetwood, 4 wins for Plymouth, and we have 2 draws as well. Just one defeat, though, in the past 6 games for Fleetwood against the Plymouth side. Also, just one defeat, the past 4, 58% form to Fleetwood 75. Last amount over in Fleetwood was a 5-1 win for Fleetwood back in November 2020. They also played each other this season back in August. It was a 1-1 draw as well. Of course, Fleetwood beat Rotherham last round. Plymouth did lose to Sheff on Wednesday, but the bounce back here with a 2-1 win against Lincoln as well. No odds on this one. Of course, what do you think about this one? Going to go with a 2-1 win for Plymouth on the road to make it a good week for them. 6 points out of 6. And then finally, I have Gillingham up against Shrewsbury. You would dub this as a relegation 6-pointer. But Shrewsbury, of course, grinding out some results recently. Of course, now these two sides have been playing each other for the 23rd time since 2008. So the previous 22, 4 for Gillingham, 8 for Shrewsbury, 10 draws. Gillingham without a win in 6 games, 8% form up against the Shrewsbury side. Just one defeat by 6, 67% form as well. Last round over in Gillingham was a 0-0 draw back in April 2021. They also played each other back in August. It was a 2-1 win for Shrewsbury. No odds on this one, of course, going with my gut. My gut says a 2-1 win for Gillingham to bounce back and, of course, give themselves an okay week in the end. That's, of course, my take on this one. Be sure to get your own take as well. 24 League One for your predictions. Also, give it some love and smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. Check out the links down below on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and, of course, Patreon as well for some love. And if you want to support the channel in another way, best place to do it. Also, if you want to get involved with content creation in a football style, I could be your Jedi to your Padawan. That's right. I could be your bloody Darth Vader to your Darth something else, Sith, or something like that, or whatever. We could become brothers from another mother. I could be your guru, of course, and you can learn your trade right here on the platform as we get to know your football knowledge, content creation knowledge. Get involved. If you want to work in front of the camera, behind the scenes, get involved. Let me know down below, looking for faces and helper outers to become the key components of the future of Black Rose in a monster year. But anyway, guys, smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe. I'll see you soon for the next one. Of course, that'll be after these games. But until then, boys, we're Duddy Dunzo.